Good morning, friends of the media. Welcome to the media session. I will first invite the Chief Executive to speak. Good morning. Last week, the U.S. announced the imposition of the so-called reciprocal tariffs on many trading partners. For Hong Kong products, there will be 34% of tariffs. In addition to the 20% tariff previously announced, in total there will be 54% of tariffs on Hong Kong products. The USA is no longer upholding free trade. It indiscriminately rule-based World Trade System. It's barbaric and bullying and unreasonable. And then it's imposing tariffs and that affects various countries and regions. And the tariff covers a huge range of products, so it's totally disrupts the trading order in the world. It brings about immense risks and uncertainties to the world. So that destroys the global trade industrial chain and supply chain. In particular, for small and medium-sized businesses and e-commerce operators, there are serious impact. The supply chain around the world is disrupted. Manufacturing costs go up, so there will be domino effect, and that will affect the confidence of international investors and traders. That could lead to shrinking of trading volume, and then manufacturing cost increase will lead to the risk of inflation, and that will add to the risk of a global recession. In the long run, there will be the risk of free trade becoming regionalized, and then there could be more trade barriers. Hong Kong will face these various global risks. Hong Kong, of course, is also an externally oriented international free trade port. So we will face pressure on entrepot and trading businesses. And then for SMEs and cross-boundary e-commerce operators will be affected inevitably in the short term. There is analysis that U.S.-China trade volume will drop substantially by 20%. In 2024, export to U.S. accounted only for 0.1% of total export in Hong Kong in 2024. And then in 2018, U.S. export to Hong Kong accounted for import to Hong Kong accounted for 8.6%, and now shrunk to 6.5%. As for export to Asian countries, it's increased from 7.4% to 8.7%. In 2019, ASEAN countries became the second largest export market for Hong Kong, surpassing the USA. The Hong Kong government has always formulated policies to consolidate advantages and seize upon opportunities. And then our policy proves to be right. Now, with the U.S. indiscriminately imposing tariffs, the SL government will be working hard on 7 fronts. First of all, we will seize upon the opportunities of national development. We will actively integrate into national development. Our country is our biggest opportunity. It is also the greatest certainty for us. The country is the world's second largest economy and consumer market. It has a consumer market with a population of 1.46 billion. So we being close to our country will be the first to benefit from such advantages. So we must seize upon the immense opportunities presented by our country's market. We can take the Greater Bay Area as an example. Now, GBA has a population of 87 million people. So the GDP per capita is $40,000 US. So we must seize upon the opportunities presented by the immense domestic demands in the national market and actively promote our products and bring them into these markets. And then with CEPA, we enjoy various preferential treatment. We will bring more overseas enterprises come to Hong Kong, and then they can make use of the CEPA preferential treatment to enter the mainland market. We can help global investors to seize upon the opportunities brought about by the rise in the East. And that will help to stimulate our economy too. As at the end of last year, CEPA products brought into the country under products brought into the country under CEPA amounted to 10.2 billion yuan. And then we must promote further regional collaboration. Now, within a region, there are various trade agreements that's nothing to do with U.S. tariffs. So we could further expand such collaboration to offset the impact of U.S. tariffs. And for Asia, the Middle East, and other Belt and Road countries, we could further promote trade with them. And then we'll sign more free trade agreements with more countries and regions. We have FTAs covering 21 economies, and we have investment cooperation agreement with 33 economies. We are working, negotiating with Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, and Peru to sign agreements. So we will further enhance cooperation with different places. And then in Malaysia and Saudi Arabia, we are opening ETOs. And then in Cairo, Turkey, Cambodia, and so on, we are also TDC is opening offices in those places. And then thirdly, Hong Kong must speed up industrial transformation and up. So we must start the new approach of leveraging on innovation and high value added industries. We're going to have high value added trade market. Now, last year in the policy address, I have announced new frameworks for certain trains. There is the trend of these chains being moved to global south countries, so we must seize that opportunity. And then we will strengthen supply chain services. We will speed up the building of supply chain centers. And then different industries could also promote development in different areas. Fourthly, we are going to step up the development of innovation technology. We're going to bring in high-end talents, and we will enhance our productivity and further enhance our competitiveness. Without innovation technology, there is no future. INT talents are sought after by different countries. We are going to go full speed to develop INT hub. We're going to speed up the development of the Hetou Park and so on, and we will keep enhancing our competitiveness. Fifthly, we are going to promote international financial cooperation. We're going to create new sources of capital. I and government officials have visited various emerging markets. I visited ASEAN and Middle East countries. I have promoted the mutual recognition with exchanges in those places. So last year in Saudi Arabia, there are 2 ETFs listed in Saudi there covering Hong Kong stocks. And one covers financial products in Hong Kong that shows financial products in Hong Kong have much room for development in emerging markets. Sixthly, different countries are trying to spread their risk in different places. So we must seize upon the opportunity to bring more capital to Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is the freest economy in the world. under the one country, two systems, we can provide a secure and stable investment environment. And then we are connected to the mainland, which is a huge market. That is an advantage we have. So in terms of risk aversion, an irreplaceable advantage. And then there is also room for development of risk management, therefore. Seventhly, we will continue to provide support to the industry and trade so they could face the challenge. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority will coordinate with the banking sector to provide cash flow to meet the cash flow demands of businesses. And then with the Hong Kong Export Credit Insurance Corporation will provide export credit insurance to businesses. And then with the BUD Fund, we could further promote Hong Kong brands and also help with transformation and upgrading. And then we also have a subsidy scheme to help businesses to speed up digital transformation. And then there is a need to better manage risks by providing market information. Now, Hong Kong has the advantage. Systems are also connected to the world and mainland, and then free trade is our competitive edge. It is the very key of our success. So we will continue to keep our free trade policy. We will ensure the free flow of goods, capital, information, and people. And so people can come and invest in Hong Kong and seize upon the opportunities presented by Hong Kong and the country. Hong Kong has been through various storms. Every time we are able to emerge stronger from these storms. So we must leverage our advantages as well as the advantages under the one country, two systems. We must seize upon the immense opportunities arising from national development. We must further promote regional cooperation. We must seek and embrace changes. Now, Hong Kong people are agile and we have perseverance and definitely will overcome the challenges. Thank you.
We now open the floor for questions. If you'd like to ask questions to the organizations you represent, please limit yourself to not more than 2 questions. The lady over there. Good morning. I'm from Now TV. The U.S. has announced to sanction 6 more officials, including U48 high-level officials have been sanctioned. Are you worried that the sanction will continue to expand and that might affect the diplomatic relationships between Hong Kong and other countries? And are there any countermeasures? Also, what is the progress of the Hong Kong and Myanmar? Thank you. Concerning the bullying tactics of the U.S., and the sanctions imposed by the U.S., we strongly condemn that. This despicable act is try to secure national security, and this is meddling in Hong Kong affairs as well as Chinese affairs. This is against the international law, and this shows the U.S. behavior as well as barbarity and the hegemony. The SAR government is responsible for protecting national security. We are responsible for pursuing the responsibility of those who have endangered national security, but the U.S. smears us as we try to deal with the matter in accordance with the law by combating those who threaten national security. The SAR government will, without fear, discharge our responsibility and perform our mission and continue to protect national security. We will protect the legitimate interests of all our officials. These sanctions will only make us more determined. Now, in relation to the rescue team in Myanmar, the rescue personnel is doing something that we find very professional, and we're very proud of them. On the 2nd of April, the Chinese rescue team, together with the Hong Kong rescue team, worked together and carried out a search in a collapsed hotel. They rescued a 52-year-old man from Myanmar who had been trapped for over 150 hours. I very much support the rescue work of the SAR team. Over the past week, the rescue team faced many challenges. This includes the large-scale collapse of buildings in the earthquake-stricken region, and also traffic was disrupted. There was no telecommunication services. It was very hot, and on the streets there were lots of refugees, and there were also mosquito problems. However, the rescue team, with their team spirit, they raced against time and they displayed their professionalism. They also attended to patients in Myanmar. Every day, the SAR government had video conferences with the rescue team. We look forward to the rescue team returning to Hong Kong safe and sound so that they could unite with the supplies. We have provided over 20 metric tons of supplies. I believe that as time passes, the rescue team will continue to face different challenges. There will be fewer and fewer successes. We will continue to review the progress of the work of the relief team to decide when they should return to Hong Kong. We'll take the second question, the lady over there.
Questions from South China Morning Post. Is there any concrete measures the government would do to help local business affected by tariffs, and how would the tariff, in your perception, how would the tariff attack Hong Kong's unemployment rate? And the second question is, on the Panama deal, how should local companies respond to Beijing's criticism? And would the antitrust probe and the possible failed deal affect people's perception that companies in Hong Kong must ultimately answer to Beijing?
Last week, the U.S. announced the imposition of so-called reciprocal tariff on trading partners around the world, including an additional 34% tariff on Hong Kong products. Together with the 20% tariff announced earlier, the total tariff imposed on Hong Kong products is up to 54%. The U.S. no longer adheres to free trade, arbitrarily undermining the internationally established rules of world trade, and its ruthless behavior damages global and multilateral trade. The reckless imposition of tariffs affects many countries and regions around the world, with huge tax rate increases and covering a wide range of goods, disrupting the world economic and trade order, bringing great risks and uncertainties to the world. In response to the U.S. imposition of tariffs, the governments will strengthen strategy in 7 areas. First, we shall fully seize the opportunities in our country, China's development, and actively integrate into national development. China is the world's second-largest economy and second-largest consumer goods market, with a domestic market of 1.4 billion people. Hong Kong will take full advantage of CEPA to attract more foreign companies to set up operations to capitalize the benefits of one country, two systems. As of the end of last year, the accumulated tariff concessions on goods under CEPAS exceeded renminbi 10.2 billion. Second, we shall strengthen international exchanges and deepen regional ties and cooperation. We shall sign more free trade agreements with countries and economies. Today, Hong Kong's FTA is already covering 20 economies. We're currently negotiating investment agreements with Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, Egypt, and Peru. We will continue to push for Hong Kong's early accession to RCEP to deepen regional cooperation. We are already planning to establish economic and trade offices in Malaysia and Saudi Arabia. Additionally, Invest Hong Kong and Hong Kong Trade Development Council will set up offices in Cairo, Egypt, Izmir, Turkey, and Cambodia to proactively expand Hong Kong's global trade and economic network. Third, Hong Kong will accelerate industrial transformation by developing a high value-added, innovation-driven economic model. We will expedite the establishment of a high value-added supply chain service hub and promote the growth of headquarters economy. Fourth, we will intensify efforts to develop technological innovation, attract top-tier talent, and further strengthen Hong Kong's competitiveness. We will develop Hong Kong as a technology and innovation hub. We will focus efforts on establishing Hong Kong as a technological and innovation hub, accelerating development of the He-Tao and Sentin Technopole, and continuing to attract top-tier talent and enterprises, particularly key strategic companies. Fifth, we will vigorously advance international financial cooperation to attract investments and capital. I, along with government officials, have conducted multiple visits to emerging markets to forge new partnerships. Notably, we engaged with ASEAN and Middle East countries to establish mutual. Six, we will seize the world's major trend of geographical diversification, proactively attracting foreign companies and capital to establish in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong can provide security and stability to investors and enterprises under one country, two systems. Seven, we will continue to provide various supports to help Hong Kong enterprises to cope with the impact of tariffs and external challenges, including capital flow assistance, export credit insurance measures, supporting Hong Kong enterprises in brand development, upgrading, exploring new markets through the BUD Special Fund, etc. Thank you. In respect to your question about the Hutchison's deal to sell some ports, I have earlier made 3 points, and they remained valid, clear, and explicit. I repeat that. First, there have been extensive discussions in society about the issue, and this reflects society's concern over the matter. These concerns deserve serious attention. Second, the Hong Kong SAR government urges foreign governments provide a fair and just environment for enterprises, including enterprises from Hong Kong. We oppose the abusive use of coercion or bullying tactics in international economic and trade relations. Third, any transaction must comply with the legal and regulatory requirements. Hong Kong will handle it in accordance with the law and regulations. I've noted that the State Administration for Market Regulation, or PRC, has noticed the deal and will review it in accordance with the law to ensure fair market competition and protect public interests.
OK， 仲有個提問。右手邊第二行藍色衫嘅男記者，係咯。
The gentleman here on, I'm from Wenwei I show speed came to do webcast, and it seems that some said that the government did not seize upon the opportunity. Did you make any preparation for his visit, and how are you going to help international KOLs to come to Hong Kong to promote Hong Kong? And then certainly for the Super March, what's your assessment? How successful is it? And will there be other mega events in Hong Kong? About Asho Speed, who came to Hong Kong for live webcasts, I pay much attention to that. Now, this KOL has many followers, he has many friends, so I'm sure we all take very seriously any opportunity to publicize Hong Kong. Now, there are many attractions in Hong Kong that are worth promoting. The Hong Kong Tourism Board actually approached Speed on the various arrangements, and they indicated their willingness to provide assistance. But then Speed did not approach the Tourism Board, and so the government did not take any actions. But I must stress that the government will seize upon every opportunity for Speed or any other KOLs. If they come to Hong Kong to promote Hong Kong, we will certainly seize upon these opportunities. Now, if we're aware of any KOLs coming to Hong Kong to do broadcasts or including Speed, we will certainly offer assistance. And I'm sure everyone in Hong Kong would like to see Hong Kong being promoted, because if Hong Kong does well, everybody does well. And we want people to see the merits of Hong Kong, and we want them to see the appeal of Hong Kong, and that will benefit our economy and benefit everybody here in Hong Kong. So I want everyone to be hospitable, so we'll give a good impression to visitors to Hong Kong. Now, there are different trades in a community. They could offer opportunities too to KOLs in promoting Hong Kong. I see there are hotels, restaurants, public transport operators which provide Speed and other KOLs assistance in their broadcasting. So if anyone wants to promote Hong Kong, please do our best to help them, because Hong Kong is our home, and the government will also proactively approach KOLs and provide any feasible assistance to KOLs who want to come to Hong Kong and promote Hong Kong. And the same goes to any teams that want to promote Hong Kong. So Hong Kong people must remain hospitable, so visitors feel welcome here. And if different sectors are in a position to offer assistance, they should be proactive. Say, in terms of accommodation, transportation, dining experience, and so on. We want people to have a good experience in Hong Kong. So the government will continue to work hard too on this front. In March, we organized various unprecedented mega events. So Super March was a huge success. I can quote a few examples, in particular in bringing in visitors. Now, the Art Central attracted 25% of the visitors here. To the Hong Kong Sevens, %40 of the spectators were non-locals. They were visitors from elsewhere. Art Basel, that's organized every year. It also brought in 50% of the visitors that accounted for about half of all Art Basel visitors. And then different trades reported that there were 15 to 30% of extra business revenue, and we're very much encouraged about that. Of course, there were many other mega events that were held in March. That shows that mega events of different nature would benefit the different sectors in Hong Kong, including tourism sector, hotel sector, catering sector, and so on. So, and then we see retail business boosted as well, and we see vibrant city at a time. Now, in April, actually, there are also various mega events. For example, innovation and technology. We have the Asia Pacific Summit for innovation. It's actually the Hong Kong Web. There's a summit on Asia Pacific. The World Internet Conference Asia Pacific Summit in April. That is, it's a major event. It's to be held in Hong Kong for the first time. And then there are other mega events on innovation technology and so on. And there's another seminar that will bring many visitors here. There's also a tourism summit. That is the Hong Kong Fragrant Hills Tourism Summit. Is also a major annual event of the World Tourism Cities Federation. So tourism sector representatives from different countries will come and join. So in April there will be various major events as well, such as the TMHK and so on. So people will be brought to Hong Kong to attend the fairs and conferences that will help us to develop our economy further, and so there will be more business receipts. Thank you. So that's the end of the media session. Thank you.